For our second Locarno excursion in Venice, I'm joined by Catherine Bray to discuss Landmarks, the first feature-length debut by Lucrecia Martel. And as a matter of fact, Martel was with the earlier version of this project in Locarno in 2020 in the Films After Tomorrow section, for which she won a Locarno Pardo. So many different things happen and also a lot of absurd things, right? Can you unpack the story here a little bit for us?
So it's Martel's first documentary after a lifetime of wonderful fiction, and it focuses on a 2009 case where an indigenous community leader was murdered in Argentina by three of the wealthy white landowning class, just under 10 years to bring them to justice.
And this is the absurdity that I'm talking about, right? Like, how can it be that only 10 years after murder, justice possibly comes to light? I think the film is very interesting in exploring that tension. What did you make of that?
Yeah, you see the courtroom as this kind of microcosm of Argentina. The way that the indigenous witnesses are treated is very different from the way that the defendants are treated. They're constantly spoken over, for example, or asked to clarify. Their memories of what happened are questioned, and you sit there thinking, well, maybe if it hadn't taken so long to bring them to trial, people's memories would be clearer.
A bit better, yes. And then simultaneously, you mentioned microcosm. What I'm very interested in is how Martel shoots this film, because we know courtroom films from fiction very much. However, she makes all these interesting stylistic choices. What do you think they serve to the narrative of this film?
So the formal strategy is to explore both the microcosm and the macrocosm. We start out in space, satellites, the Earth, and it's almost like we're getting this impersonal God's eye, but in a universe where God doesn't exist, view of the land that's been disputed in this case, which I think is a really, really interesting way to approach it.
It's so cool. It's so scary as well.
Yeah, it's ominous. And then she also zooms in and gives us the private photo collections of the people involved in the case from the community, and really to make sure that they're humanized in a case where really they weren't humanized. Court officials, it almost feels like they don't see them as people at times.
However, I'm wondering if you thought that the film in that sense, has a hopeful note in it, because Martel is also known for these.
Probably it's not quite all the way over into hope, it's more, and we continue. And the forces of racism and colonialism continue, and we continue to fight that. I think that was what I took from it.